What's going on, guys? I'm Justin Swanstrom. Welcome back to Swan Talk. I'm here today by myself. Wanted to get some things off the chest. Wanted to talk about, we've had a pretty big story launch over the weekend. We just got back from PRI. PRI was a success. I went up there and I got to put face to names of sponsors, supporters that has support us all year long. So I was happy to be able to go up there. We were there for 4 days, had some amazing dinners, had some great feelers thrown out there, was able to pick up some more sponsors for 2022 season for Street Outlaw No Prep King Season 5. So we're happy with that. But today's video is going to be going over the process of how you get invited to Street Outlaw No Prep Kings. Well, I'm going to go ahead and just go on a limb, and I'm going to talk about it. Over here at Swan Talk, we throw stuff out there. We really don't have no filter, and we're going to talk about it. And I'm not throwing no daggers to anybody out there, and I'm just going to explain the process of how things work and what certain people are going to have to do. So viewers or fans that do listen or watch the deal, to make sure that they are following along with it as well. And if you haven't done already, make sure you subscribe to this channel, because we are steadily growing. We are getting bigger. I know this deal is going to blow up, but I can't do it without y'all. Y'all are what makes this thing possible. So I do thank each and every one of y'all, and we are going to be doing some giveaways, some get backs, and keep moving forward. But over the weekend, and I've known about this for a long time. I'm probably the first person that was like, I guess you want to know public wise. Me and Paige are pretty good friends. So she told me about this a while ago. And I try to give her pointers, feelers, as in what she should probably do, what she shouldn't probably do. I'm not saying my way is the right way, but I have came in and I feel like I have drawn up enough noise and won a few events and have done pretty well with the deal, and am in the invitational race. There's a lot of racers that are still running in the future Street Outlaw class, and not sure if they'll get brought up or not. But Paige Coughlin, she is very, very big into racing. Her family is big into racing. Her family owns Jegs. They are known for NHRA, Pro Mod. Her dad is a phenomenal driver. He runs Pro Mod. I think he's like 3 or 4 time world champion. He's very big into racing. The whole entire family's big into racing. But they launched over the weekend that they are coming to run Street Outlaw No Prep Kings. They have a new, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's a 1990 Camaro. I think that's what it is. I'm not 100% sure on the old style cars, but I believe that's what that body style is. They are coming out. They released it as in they were coming to run Street Outlaw No Prep Kings. I have talked with her in the past and told her the process of how things work, and I want to go ahead and just start it off with, I think she's going to do well. I'm not here to throw daggers on anybody. I don't want anybody to take it the wrong way that I'm trying to talk shit or anything, but it's going to take time, and she knows that too. And she's got a very competitive side to her. Even at PRI, we were talking about it up at the bar, and she was like, I'm busting your ass next year. And like I told her, it's awesome to have hopes and dreams. You got to go out, you got to test, you got to want it. I'm not saying she can't beat me. There's a lot of people out there that can beat me. There's a lot of people that I have beaten as well. But it's going to take time. Moving on from where she comes from is running a dragster, and moving into a no prep car. Not only does it take skill, but it takes drive time. You have to be able to know when to lift, know when to push it as hard as it can. You have to be able to keep it off the walls. You gotta know that you're going to be slipping and sliding at some of these events, and you got to know to race another day. I wrecked a car back in 2019. I did not respect the car back then to know what I know now. So I did wreck a car, and that's because I was being dumb. I didn't know when to lift. I was trying so hard to get inside the invitational race that I would practically have done anything just to be able to get a shot to run for the $40,000. And that's what it takes to be able to get brought up and be able to race against the OGs, the invitational. And with that being said, I think I was lucky and fortunate enough to be able to get brought up. I think 5 races in, we got brought up, and then all hell broke loose. We had to run race your way in. We won our race your way in, but dumb stuff just happened. So we would catch on fire. We burned up a motor. We ended up burning up another motor again against Caleb Morton. Went to Colorado. Won against Larry Larson. The throttle hung up. Slung a rod out. We caught on fire, and then we ended up wrecking the car at Norwalk, Ohio. So with that being said, my 2019 season was a wash. I didn't know if I was going to get brought up coming into the 2020 season. We kept proceeding forward. I told my dad that I needed to get another car. I needed to figure out what we were going to do. And this is before the Lexus or whatever y'all see out there right now. So we bought another car, little hand-me-down car, spent like 25, 30 grand on it. Took it over to Cameron Johnson Race Cars, had him put another 25,000 into it, and was getting ready for the 2020 season. Luckily, we were kind of behind schedule, and the world, I guess, fell apart, as I want to say. I don't really want to talk about the sickness and all that going on, but the world fell apart, and there was no racing in 2020. So I had heard rumors that I was getting invited to come into the new season, that I didn't have to run a future class. I was automatically going to be in the invitational deal, and I would have had the chance to run for the 40,000. I would have had the chance to get points, and I would have had the chance to not be able to get put back in the race your way in. So that was awesome for me to hear. But then the world came to an end type deal where we didn't race at all. So fast forwarding through the end of 2020, going into 2021, that's when I decided that I wanted to sell everything that I had. I wanted to build a car. I still didn't even know if I was going to get invited. That's how much I put into this deal, as in, I heard rumors, but there's only one person that handles all that when it comes down to it. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. And that's one reason why I like No Prep and the Street Outlaw deal, is that there's only one person that steers the boat. And what I mean by that is like, there isn't 100 people that's got their hands inside the cookie jar. There's one person that's got his hand in the cookie jar, and he's handing the cookies out to people. And I think that's why No Prep is so big. I think that's why it's so successful, is because you got one person that's steering the boat, and everybody else around it is helping to get it to its location. I can honestly say I don't think there's anybody that is invited in the Invitational right now that is trying to, 1, take over the boat, 2, steer it in the wrong direction, or 3, let it sink. Everybody kind of gets along. Yes, you get heated every now and then, but for the most part, everybody is pretty good about that kind of deal. And at the end of the day, there's only one person that controls the boat. There's only one person that makes all the decisions and what they got going on. But I sold everything that I had. I had 2 Musi motors. I had 2 race cars. I basically had 2 of everything. We were running a pro mod class, and we were running a radial class. But I told Dad, if possibly, if we get brought up, I want to be ready. So we sold everything we got. We decided we were going to build a Lexus with Cameron Johnson Race Cars. coming into 2021. First race was going to be it was May 1st. Well, right at the end of March, going into April, is when I got the phone call, as in, hey, would you like to be in the invitational class? You get to run for the $40,000. You get to gain points, and you get to run for the $100,000 championship at the end of the year. I was so happy because for the most part, I was telling my dad, oh yeah, we're already in. I don't got to worry about nothing. We put in our time. We did well, blah, blah, blah. But I really didn't know. And I didn't want to, if I would have told him that there was possibly going to be no chance of us getting brought into the no prep deal, he, one, wouldn't have been behind me like he was, but two, we probably wouldn't have sold everything and been able to make the decisions and the moves that we did to be able to run this season. So I was glad I was able to get that call. In the back of my head, I thought that we had did well, and I did well enough on TV, and I brought enough controversy and brought the different kind of edge to be able to get brought up there. So I'm happy that I got brought up, but I still didn't know. So going into it, running the season, did well, came out top 3. That's awesome for the first season in to run all the races. We're going to get ready for Street Outlaw No Prep King Season 5, which is going to start up in March of 2022. And you never know. I mean, I may not get invited back again. We still don't know that. I think we did well and we had a good chance, but you don't know until it happens, whenever it does happen. But I just wanted to explain a little bit on how I got brought up into it. It wasn't that I just said, hey, I'm coming to run no prep, and they're like, boom, you're in. We don't care about nobody else, because it's not like that. There is a process on how this works. You can actually see the Lexus. That was an old car that I got up there on the TV right now. Had that back in the day. Had a big 959 nitrous motor in it. We used to run Musi back in the day, but now we run Proline. Like I was saying, there's a process to this. So I've seen article after article after article about Coughlin's coming to no prep. Is it good? Is it bad? What are we going to do? How are people going to react to a professional team? And I'll say it, that is a professional team. They run at a professional level. Budget is unlimited over there. That's nothing against them. They have earned that. They have built that. They have raced for decades and they deserve it. But just because of their name, and they know this ain't a knock at them. This is more towards the fan base and people are already talking about, because I've had people already message me, send me emails. She's going to be the top 3 in points. She's going to take the championship first year in. They're going to kill everybody, and they're just going to take over. Well, I'm sure, and I'm just talking from my experience, but I'm sure she's going to be in the future class. She's not just going to get brought up and say, hey, this is Paige Coughlin, and she's automatically in the invitational and she gets to run with everybody else, because it doesn't work like that. In no prep, they don't care who you are. They don't care what kind of clout you got. They don't care how big the fan base is. They don't care how fast you are. And that's some things that I had to learn, and that's some things that people were not able to learn, and they were not able to get in. At the end of the day, this is a TV show first and is a race second. There's a lot of people that are in the invitational that haven't even won a couple rounds this season, but they are great for TV. So that is why they are able to be an asset to that deal. And me, as my job, I have to be able to make sure that I am an asset as well. So, is she going to do good? For sure. I have 100% confidence in her. She's got a great mentor. Her brother, he runs Pro Stock. Her dad, 3-4-time world champion. I'm sure they are going to have Petty on board. They're going with a Proline engine similar to mine, Pro Charger setup. So she will have all the bells and whistles. Everything will be good. But You got to go out, you got to test, and she knows that too, and I think she's ready for it. But to the people that were out there talking about why are they just going to allow that in? How can they allow that in? How are you letting all these other people run and they're not in yet, but you allow someone like her or the name come in and just take over? Well, it doesn't work like that. She will be in the future class where she will be able to show her talent. And that's basically how you break it down. And I've even told her this too. You have to show your talent. You got to remember that this is a TV show first. It is a race second. You have to be able to be good for TV to get brought up. If you do well, you will be brought up. And it doesn't matter. The future class is open to anyone. That's like when I said a couple weeks ago, I was talking about Stevie Jackson. He was talking about running over there. He could do the same thing. Build a car. Come over and run the future class, and if you do well and they feel like you are an asset to their organization, you will get brought up. It doesn't matter who you are, what your name is, how much money you got, or how fast you are, or anything in between. If you can be an asset and you can do well, you will get brought up. There is people that have been running the future class all year. Some of them are running 2 years and they still ain't got brought up. They got to work on their craft. They got to get better with how things are going, and they just got to work on themselves and their program. And I'm hoping that they do get brought up. Some people may never get brought up, and that's the chance that's taken whenever you're going out there and you're trying to run for that deal there, because everybody and their brother could come over there and run it, and then it would just get ran into the ground. It's all about having a character, I guess you want to say. You have to be able to have a character and be a part of the show and still race, if that makes sense. So I've seen a lot of articles talking about how she's already in. She already knows it. I'm sure she does, but I'm sure she will be in the future class, and she will have to race and race and race, and then showcase that she can be an asset, and then maybe she'll get brought up. She'll be able to run with the invitational guys, and she'll be able to run for the 40,000 and championship. It's not just given. You have to earn it over there. And it's not a knock at her. I want to make it very clear that it's not a knock at her. She knows she has to earn it. She's a very hard worker. She has great people in her corner. So I have confidence that she'll end up being up there. It just depends on how she plays it out, how she is with her fans, how she interacts with the internet. Got to have thick skin over here. I tell everybody all the time, cannot have thin skin. Excuse me. There's too many people over here that have thin skin, and you don't need another one of them. They're just class fillers, and there is some of them out there that are just class fillers. But you have your higher end, your select few that really push it to, one, be the best, but two, don't put up with no shit. And I feel like that one of those is me. Not to bang on my own chest or toot my own horn, but I feel like we bring a lot to the storyline whenever we run Kai Kelly, Lizzie Musey, Ryan Martin, Daddy Dave, all them guys. When I ran Chuck guessed on me. He won the round. Nobody would ever thought that Chuck would even have a chance to beat me, but he beat me. And then we run it another at the end of the season, and I end up beating him. So that stuff right there, that's controversy, that's drama, but that feeds into this world. That's what everybody needs. I tell everybody all the time, the best promoter in this world, besides MPK, is Vince McMahon with Raw. I used to be a big WWE fan when I was a kid. I'd watch wrestling, but Vince McMahon has drama. He's got females. He's got controversy, fights, arguments, a storyline. No different than what No Prep Kings does. No Prep Kings has Lizzie Musey, Caleb Morton. You got Callie Mills that has potential to be brought up to run in the invitational class.
Now you got Paige Coughlin. Now you got 4 females that'll be going at it. And everybody knows the females bring more than a male will. In this sport, in this world we live in, people will look at a female over a male. So I hope they bring them all up, and I hope I get to see them all just go at it, and we'll see how it goes. You got Kai Kelly, Chuck, Daddy Dave, Sean, Murder Mova, Ryan Martin, myself. We don't back down from nothing. We talk shit with the best of them. We have fast cars. Every time we race, it is very, very close. I mean, Jeff Lutz beat me. I have ran close with Jeff. I have beat Jeff as well. Every time we run against some guys, or Ryan Martin, we ran Ryan Martin 4 times this year. And I bet you all of them added up together, 25, 30 inches separated between me and Ryan. Like when I beat him, and yes, he beat me the other times, but it was either by a couple inches, by a bumper. They're all close races. So that's why the storyline is so good over in No Prep Kings right now, because you have the fighting going on. Jerry Bird, Chuck, Pat Musey, Lizzie, Kai. I mean, everybody gets into it every now and then. I got into it with all of them on the start line at times. So tempers flare, and sometimes you just got to let it out. And that doesn't mean that we're not friends after, but at that point in time, you just got to let everybody know how you feel, and hope everybody can move on from it. I moved on. Once I had my little, some people try to say meltdown. I didn't have a meltdown. I felt that I needed to get some stuff off my chest. I got it off, and that was it. Me and Kai, good friends now. We still talk. Pat Musey, all of us. But you gotta be able to put in the work to be able to reap the benefits. And that's one thing that I've learned, especially with No Prep Kings, is that they don't care who you are. You are set up at a time schedule. If you're going to make a run at 7:15, you better be there before 7:15, and you better be on the track at 7:15. Unless you have a catastrophic failure on the track or something's going on, you better be there. If not, they're going to tell you to pack your shit up and go back to the trailer. They don't care who you are, and that's the good thing about it. The organization, it is so organized. I mean, Claire, she is probably one of the best out there, and she handles everybody in the pits when we come up to the staging lanes. So when we go into the staging lanes, she makes sure everybody's in their lane. If you're trying to hold back, and the only reason why I know is because I've done it. I've tried to hold back, and I've even told her, I said, you know what, I want to get some cars to go down the track and let them put a little bit of rubber down before I go down there, because it's a little bit sketchy. And she basically told me, Justin, I mean, I hate to be this person, but you probably should have sat back in your trailer then. So you're already up here. Nobody else is. Go ahead and get your ass up there and go ahead and get suited up, and you're going down the track. And yes, ma'am. And got to go on about your day. But she handles everything. You got Jen. She's over everyone. She don't put up with nothing. I have seen her be the nicest person ever, and I've also seen her get completely down. I mean, borderline ready to fight. I mean, she's even got on my ass. She's chewed me out, but it's also made me a better person. And even though I've always respected her, but I think about some stuff a little bit differently now. And even towards the end of the season, there was other people that was trying to make the same decisions I was making, and I told them, I recommend you not to do that, because I've already been down this road and I know how it goes. And people go on and do their own thing, and then I'll see them get their ass chewing, and I just sit back and laugh at it now. And then you got Sam. Sam handles everything. He is the head person in charge. He makes the final decision. He has a team around him that makes him better. He makes them better. So the whole entire thing, Boosted GT, he's the race master. You have to go through him with any kind of rules, protest, or anything going on. But the whole team as a whole, that's why No Prep Kings is so big and so much better than all these other races, because they really got it figured out, and they're going to be around for a while. And a lot of people don't like it, but it's got to face the fact. They got it down packed, bringing the fans in, getting everybody parked, making sure everybody has fun, doing the small stuff. I know every event that we go to, No Prep Kings, they give out ice cream, which is cool because I'm fat, so I like to eat ice cream. And I even got yelled at because I ate the ice cream and I should have been giving it to the fans, which that was my bad. I'm sorry. But now I give it to the fans. So little stuff like that makes people remember. They allow all the fans to go to the pits. My pits are wide open. Anybody can come up, look at the car. If you got a kid, I try to put them inside the car. I even started toward the end of the season letting people fire up the car because they don't get to experience stuff like that. So you get to relate so much with the fan base. That's why the fan base is so big. That's why the fan base is so loyal, and that's why MPK will be around for a very long time. So with that being said, I think she's going to do awesome. I've said it multiple times in this video already. She needs to go do some seat time. She needs to get tested. It is very different. I've seen actually a couple people have sent me messages or even commented on the groups that we're in and was like, if you can do it, she can do it. Correct. I feel like anybody can do it. If they put their time into it, there's a lot of people out there that don't think I do, but I really do bust my ass to have the things that I have the team that I have, race how I do, and I try to be the best. Have I gotten wins this year? Sure. Have I taken losses? Absolutely. But it's made me a better driver. I tell people all the time I wear blinders in the car now because going back to the beginning when I wrecked that car, I had such a bad habit of looking over in the other lane to where when somebody was in front of me, I would watch them. And that's exactly what happened. Bobby got out in front of me. I was looking at him. And I was catching up to him. By the time I looked back into my lane, I was already close to the center line and the wheels sat back down and I had the wheel turn to the right and it just launched me into the wall. So now I wear blinders in the car. So if y'all ever watch our vlogs and see the inside car footage and you'll see the blinders on both sides, that's what that reason is behind. Now it makes me focus on my lane. I only worry about me. Even like when I run Ryan and I run Kai Kelly, Lizzie Musey, even though I've beaten Lizzie Musey 3 times this year. She hasn't beat me yet. But it makes it difficult to know if you won or lost because you're focused on your lane only. So there's a few tracks that we go to, and basically both cars have to pass the finish line before the win light comes on. And I'll think, I have it won. And then Ryan Martin would just nudge me out at the end and put a bumper on me. But because I wear blinders, I can't see him. A car really has to be about 5 to 6 car lengths out in front of me for me to be able to see them with the blinders on. So the blinders do work. But going back to Paige, she's going to need seat time. She's going to have to go out and test this car, which they're going to do. They're going to make sure she's ready. We got about 4 months until we're running again. So she needs to go out. She needs to get seat time. She needs to test the car. She needs to, if it was me, we would be going down a prep surface because she's never been in nothing like this. She knows that she's about to get into a real animal, a really, really fast car. And she's got to be able to, 1, respect it, but 2, control it. So go out, make laps after laps after laps, get everything ready. And then you can go to like a semi-prep. What I mean by semi-prep is I did the same thing. It's very easy to turn these cars down. So when you go out there and you run fast and you set those times and you know you're running good, like we went 370s. When you go to a no prep, of course we're not running 370s out there, but it's easier to turn the car down, make a lick, and then try to sneak back up on it. When you come out there with a brand new fresh deal and everything, like kind of how we did with the Lexus, we were screwed up for the first couple races because we had to try to come out and run fast, and that's when you have issues. So needs to go out, needs to make laps after laps, and then go to a semi-prep deal. What I mean by semi-prep is actually go to a track that has rubber and stuff down, but no spray, No dragging the track, no doing none of that. Maybe even get them to scrape it to the 60 foot. Let it be from the 60 foot to the 8th mile. Have rubber on it. And then go ahead and start testing. Figure out what's going to go on. Because everybody knows when you're running at these events from the starting line to the 330, sometimes gets very, very good. Some tracks, and what I mean by some, there was a select few that were pretty iffy from the starting line to the 330. But for the most part, the tracks do get good because everybody's out there doing 300-foot burnouts. But the sketchy part is from the 330 to the 8th mile. That's where everybody gets in trouble. That's where you have to be a driver. That's where you got to make sure you make the right call. Do you stay in it? Do you get that win? Or do you lift? Do you race another day? There's been times where I have stayed in it, pulled the chutes, drove through the chutes, taken the win. And then there's times where I had to get out of it and know that I could race another day because I had flashbacks to when I wrecked in 2019. And I don't ever want to do that again. Knock on wood. I do not ever want to wreck a car. I don't ever want to be on fire again. That was horrible. I was knocked out unconscious in the car, and I don't want to go through that again. So when I built the new car, I made sure everything was up to par safety-wise. I have a poured-in seat. I got headrest pads that go around my head. Any kind of happen, because that's exactly what happened in the other car. When we hit the wall, my helmet hit the cage. It broke the helmet in half, and it knocked me out. So I take safety very, very seriously. And I did before, but now it's 10 times worse. And I don't care if it's an extra 10 pounds. I don't care if it's an extra 20 pounds. I have to make sure that I'm safe and be able to race another day. So we ran this season. We did phenomenal. Everything was good. Placed third in points. We're going to go into next season. We're going to try to get better. Maybe we can run for the championship. Maybe we can even take the championship home, take the win. That's the ultimate goal. But we won't know until we get there. But I just wanted to explain the process of how to get into running the invitational for the Street Outlaw No Prep Kings. And not everybody's as lucky as I was. And I tell everybody every day, I was lucky. I was just there at the right time. I put in the work, and then I was invited up. There's still people that are running in the future class that haven't got brought up to the invitational. And you never know if they're going to get brought up or not. But they're not just going to allow anybody to come in and say, okay, you're just going to go ahead and get invited, and you're there, and you have to do that. No, you have to go prove your talent. No different than any other kind of movie. It's like a show type deal where you have to do an audition. You got to make sure that you're good. If you're not an asset, they'll let you know. If you are an asset, well, then you'll get brought up, and then you'll figure out what you're going to do, where you're going to fit in at. Might possibly get paid. You got to go from there. So I don't want to make this video too long. And I want to say again, I do hope and pray that Paige goes out there, gets the seat time, gets running well, comes to run the future class. Hopefully she performs well and they allow her in. If they don't allow her in, that's not my decision. That's not none of our decisions. Ryan Martin, Daddy Dave, that ain't none of our decisions. It all comes down to the head man in charge. But just know that I'm going to be on your ass when you show up on the property. If you think that you want to race, just know that I want to race. I like to grudge race. I like to run for money. I do not get paid to come to these events. So the money that I'm willing to lose is also money that when I win, it helps me keep performing, keep me going. Jeff Lutz got mad at me because I didn't want to split in the pot one time. And like I told him, I said, I broke 2 Pro Chargers. I had a $10,000 bill already. I needed to try to get that money. We broke a third one going against Jeff Lutz. I didn't win. I didn't split. I didn't get no money. But I took that risk to be able to take it all home, or I didn't deserve it at all. Now, yes, I have split with multiple people. I've split with Ryan Martin. I've split with Jerry Bird. I've even split with Jeff, and when we go into our final 2 or final 4, it just at some point in times I have to make the decision if I'm going to split or if I'm not. It's not that I'm being an asshole, but I have things I have to pay for. I have to keep this operation running. I have to keep coal in the train and let the train go. If not, the train runs out and then we don't do nothing. So there was a few people that were mad that we didn't split that time, but I would do it over again if I had to. If it just depends on what situation I'm in, going from there. But grudge racing, Paige already said that she wants to come out there. She wants to kick my ass. Well, that's cool. I like the competition. If I could run Ryan twice every day of the week and multiple times on Sunday, I would do it. I would race Ryan every single time because it's only going to make me better. It's only going to make my team better. And that's how everybody should feel. So I hope she does well. I hope they bring other drivers in as well, figure out what they're going to do. This won't turn into a professional deal. We will see how it goes. Just going to depend on how she does as a person and how anybody out there. And if you want to come run a future class too, you can. Future class is open up to the public. Anybody can come run it. As long as you have a car that fits the rules, you can come run the class. If you think that you have what it takes to be on TV, be a part of the show, have fun, you can come do it as well. I'm not saying, oh, you're going to get brought up. Nobody's going to be able to tell you that. The only person that's going to be able to dictate that will be you. No different than me, no different than the other drivers that got brought up with me. So that's basically all I got for today. I'm here by myself, so we do have more podcasts showing. We got the car going to Cameron Johnson Race Cars this weekend because he is having. I was trying to multiply words together right there real quick, but he is having a show and tell type deal at the shop. He's got a lot of people that's going to be coming over, so we're going to take the car over there. We're going to put it up. We're going to be there for a little while, and then we're leaving from there. I'm taking me, K2, Kyle, Amanda, co-host. We're going to the Jake Paul fight in Tampa, Florida. So if you're there at the fight, come by and say hi. If you're there at Cameron's, come by and say hi. But we'll be at Cameron's for a little while, and then we're going to be leaving, and we're going to be heading to the fight. We have some cool things going on with prenup and the Lexus coming soon. We got the new car. Cameron just sent me a text earlier today that the new car gets put on the jig table in a couple weeks, so I'm excited for that. Figure out when they get all that going, then I get to go over there and get fitted for the car. So it's going to be awesome. We got some cool shit happening. The podcast is doing phenomenal right now. Even the Swan Talk over there on the second channel, it's doing awesome. Amanda, she's coming up with some great ideas. She keeps it interesting. I'm just happy to be a part of everything right now and being able to put this on, and I'm excited for y'all guys, and I'm fortunate that y'all guys and girls keep sharing our stuff, keep buying our merch, keep having fun, and keep growing this thing. It's only going to grow with y'all. I can put out all the content I want, but only by y'all watching, only by y'all commenting, liking, subscribing, turning bell notifications on. That's the only way this thing grows. So anyway, guys, I'm going to get out of here. I'm Justin Swanstrom. Paige, if you see this, I'm rooting for you. I hope you do get in, go out there, kick ass, but just know if you come up and run me, I'm going to load your shit up on the trailer. I'm letting you know. I'll see y'all later. Peace.